Thomas Tuchel has just been sacked, and honestly, I am very surprised. Did I see it coming? Maybe underneath Roman Abramovich, but underneath Todd Bowley, this got me, I'm not gonna lie. Let's get into it. Before we get started, welcome to Chelsea Plus. If you don't mind liking and subscribing, we have some good videos coming out today. Subscribe to be up to date. Back to the news. Oh yeah, like I said earlier, Thomas Tuchel has been fired, and apparently there were a lot of early signs about this anyway. I know Todd Bowley and co have already been here for 100 days, but apparently they didn't like Thomas Tuchel anyway. Reason being, it's because firstly, the way he handled players. A lot of players had a lot to talk about Thomas Tuchel. I can imagine maybe a Romelu Lukaku, a Timo Werner, the way he handled Billy Gilmore, even people like Hakim Ziyech, Christian Pulisic. I can imagine a lot of players may have talked behind Thomas Tuchel's back, and majority of them would have been attacking players because that's where we were struggling. Our attacking players did not like our attacking way of football. So they're the people I think may have not helped the situation. You all know Tuchel as well has some girlfriend problems. He was on and off with his wife, he got a divorce. He wasn't really in the correct mindset. And let's be honest, we started this season very bad. If you look at this season, maybe we wouldn't have got top 4. And our board did say top 4 was a minimum requirement. So I would have gave Thomas Tuchel at least to halfway through the season, just to see what happens. I'm guessing since he had these reserves anyway, they got rid of him. Now, I do find it a little bit weird how they were going to offer Thomas Tuchel a new contract if they had all these problems with him anyway. But I guess they're doing it as an extension because he was very low anyway, so it made sense. But I did find it a bit weird. And also how they managed to sign all his players, got him ready for the new season, then fired him. Like, think about Aubameyang. This guy's only played 60 minutes and had one training session. The one guy Thomas Tuchel wanted, and he came here for that reason. It's gone. Like, this is just surprising in my eyes. So, I don't know what our board are really doing. Now, do I think Thomas Tuchel deserves to go? Now, if the board had another vision in mind, then yes, I guess he deserves to go. If the board had another vision. I personally had my reserves about Thomas Tuchel from not getting a midfielder earlier. He seems to be relying on the wrong players. He's relying on the likes of Jorginho, Kovacic and Kante. He heavily relies on them when these players showed time and time again that they're not good enough or have injury prone problems to be good enough for a whole season. On that main aspect, I've got to blame Thomas Tuchel here. Also, in pre-season, yes, it was just pre-season, but let's be honest, it was very bad. And if you're new, you're coming in seeing our pre-season, stinking up the gaff, playing players that we didn't need to play. Players like Ross Barkley, Ethan Ampadu, Billy Gilmore, Batshuayi, they're players that he didn't even need to play. So I do understand why the board may have fired him, because Thomas Tuchel, from what they may have seen and the consensus they're getting around him, he didn't suit their vision. So I do understand the board side. Me personally, I would have gave Thomas Tuchel a lot longer to at least see what he can do. But like I said, the midfield problem was a problem and he didn't get that sorted, in my opinion. He wanted 3 defenders, even though he's only got 2, he wanted 3 defenders. We're looking at Garvidal before he went to sort out a midfielder. So that was a little bit of a red flag there. But overall, like I said, Thomas Tuchel is one of my favourite managers. He won a Champions League. How could you not be upset about losing a Champions League winning manager? Now, one thing as well is Thomas Tuchel has played 100 games here now, and he is 4th now on the longest serving Chelsea manager. If he played another 10 more games, he would have been 2nd. So technically he has been here for a long time for our standards. Now what I'm hoping now though, with these new managers we are looking at, I'm hoping we do stick with them, because we do need to stick with the manager now. The things that Pep Guardiola and Klopp are doing, we need to stick with the manager to form a bond to actually beat these teams. We can't do it by hiring and firing managers all the time. Now, the 3 managers we are looking at is Zinedine Zidane, who personally, I do think he is a world-class manager. He won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Would he suit our team and is he a long-term manager? Personally, And respectfully, no. Maybe, yeah, in fact, maybe he would suit our team. But do I think he's a long-term manager for Chelsea and would like to stay here for, let's just say, 5 years? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, Zizou is still on the cards though. Would I be excited if he came? Yes. This guy is an elite manager. He's got good tactics. I like the way how he worked with Ronaldo. Do we really have the Real Madrid style players though? For example, a Casemiro. I don't think we have a Casemiro there. A Modric. A Toni Kroos. A Ronaldo. A Benzema. A Bale. I just feel like we don't really have these types of players. If he had a world-class squad, then maybe someone like Zizou would be a bit more in my liking. But right now I'm thinking, I don't really think it's a long-term signing. The next person in line, and is very popular in regards to being a fan favourite, is Graham Potter from Brighton. He plays a 3-4-3 just like Tuchel. I think he'll suit the majority of our players. And I do think he'll be quite easy to get from Brighton. So I do think adding 1 + 1 = 2, I do think he'll be a good manager for Chelsea. And that's just my humble opinion. I think most of you guys would agree. But the only question mark I do have about him is he hasn't won anything. Would he be able to step up? Personally, I think he can. But that is the big question mark we have around him. And also Pochettino. Now, I already know most of the fans do not want Pochettino. He played for Tottenham. He didn't do well at PSG. But if I am going to be very black and white, Pochettino, if you look at our squad, he likes to play with attacking fullbacks. He's very good at building a spine. And we are looking at a sporting director who did work with Pochettino before, aka Paul Mitchell. They did very good together. And there have been quotes from Paul Mitchell saying he would like to work with Pochettino again. So, if I'm going to be honest, I do think Graham Potter and Pochettino are very even on the list. We would have to wait and see what happens here. I'm a bit surprised still. Looking at our players, I've got to talk about our players. Most of our players, luckily, the ones we signed, Cucurella, Koulibaly, Fofana, Zakaria, Sterling and Aubameyang, all 5 of them would suit majority of the manager's systems. Luckily for them, they are not specialists. They're not like Timo Werner's or Lukaku's or Jorginho's. These players are specialists. These other players though, they would suit majority of systems. You want them to do one thing or the other thing, I think they can do it. They're that good. But luckily for Todd Bowley and co, they got something right in signing very good players. So we're just going to have to wait and see. For Thomas Tuchel, it looks like he's going back to Germany. Funny thing is, he may be working with Timo Werner at RB Leipzig. So he just sold him and now he's playing with him. What are the chances? What are the chances? Anyways, that's it from me. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace.